Hello everybody, welcome back to another interview. I think this is the sixth one if I'm not mistaken. And today I have another channel with me. It's Nick from Masters of Nothing. So hello Nick.
Hey.
So the interview is based on 25 questions, and these are split into 5 categories. Which you will hear me go into them, and yeah, why not get right into them. The intro questions: what is your real name and gamer tag?
Oh, my gamer tag. Well, okay. So my real name is Nick. I won't give you my surname, although everyone can
Not a
probably
problem,
find it
yeah.
quite easily. My gamer tag, yeah, there's a few, but you can usually find me by Master of Nothing, one word. I'll give you a link to that. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a gamer tag on my PlayStation network, which used to be the Edgy Assassin, which is a bit of a weird one. It kind of went back from about 10, 15 years when I was a child, and I didn't realize what I was actually doing.
Okay. And in games, do you usually go with Masters of Nothing, or how do you call your characters, let's say?
It depends. If I'm playing Call of Duty, for instance, I am the Edgy Assassin. You don't want to mess around with a guy like that. But usually, when I'm on my channel and doing the kind of videos I do now, yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
usually Masters of Nothing. If I really want to get angry, yeah, the Edgy Assassin comes out, dependent.
Okay. That's cool. The second question: what is your age and where are you from?
So I'm from the UK. I'm
Mm-hmm.
28 years old. Um, still
Nice.
young, still young.
Getting there.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
You're
What?
young, but you're getting there.
Yeah,
Yeah, catching up to the old guys.
yeah.
We
No, I know, I
always
know. The
are.
feeling. I'm starting to already feel old.
Yeah. Okay. The next questions. Can you describe your YouTube channel?
Oh, okay. So it's probably a mix between it's a real positive community around
Mm-hmm.
gaming, games that are suggested by viewers, and we like to do a few vlogs. I used to travel quite a bit and get around, so we used to do update vlogs around that. So if I was really going to kind of describe it, it would be that it's a real positive gaming community where we all communicate and try and help each other out. So it's a nice place to be. It's not toxic at all, which is
Okay.
really nice. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Mhm. That's one positive I see for the smaller channels, because they do not really have many trolls, so they are usually positive communities. All
Usually,
these small channels, yeah. Yeah, of course, because exceptions that break the rule always are so.
it happens. It happens.
And how did your channel came to be?
Wow. Okay, so this is probably my second channel actually, or maybe
Hmm.
third. I can't remember. I've been on YouTube
Oh.
for yeah, I know, right? I've been on YouTube for about 5 years actually, and I've had some real big successes within other channels, and I've been part of collaboration channels as well. And I
Okay, so you have quite the experience under the belt.
a little bit maybe. I just like to I like to get to know other gamers and actually
Hmm.
play games with them. And usually doing things for their channels is usually a lot easier than doing things for myself. So it's just nice to be part of that community. So I was part of a collaborative channel. And it was really good, but I realized that I kind of wanted
Hmm.
to do things on my own. And there was a lot of people that wanted videos directly from me, and they liked to see what I was doing. So I started my own channel. And I still keep in contact with some of those other channels I used to work with, and you might see me around the internet every now and again doing things with them. But it's now
Okay.
kind of here. And also, I wanted to kind of do reviews because the one thing that we always used to do was used to do a lot of let's plays. It used to be continuous let's plays, and there wasn't very much kind of feedback and feel about what the game was and things like that. And I feel like my commentary and what I do in my channel now was more about the how it feels and how I enjoy it, and not just about being stupid. So it's a little bit more down to earth, and I quite enjoyed
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how it came to be.
And actually, I do not remember to see many reviews on your channel. Did you do some?
I did
Or
do I did do quite a few going back maybe over a year now. So I've been on this channel has been over a year, and that actually started with a lot of reviews. So every now and again I
Okay,
might
okay.
dip back and forward, but it's more about supporting other indie gamers, for instance, and kind of getting them out there. So doing
Mm-hmm.
almost a let's play review was kind of the way that I wanted to go.
Okay, okay, cool. So we should expect a bit of reviews in the future also.
Hopefully, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So the fifth questions: what other entertainment do you like most? Any books, music, movies, sports,
Oh,
etc.
okay. I really, if I had more time, wow. Actually, I used to do a lot of sports, a lot of outdoor activities. So actually, I'm a really good archer.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to do a lot of compound bow,
Wow, cool,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, contests. Yeah, so I used to do that down in the UK. Used to really enjoy that, and a little bit of shooting, targets, not people. Don't worry. And that was, that was fun.
Oh, sad.
So really, yeah, yeah. Wait for the zombie apocalypse. You want me on your side. It was
Yeah,
always,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. Silent bow kills. Yeah, my God. So I used to do, used to do a lot of that, and if time permits, I'd get back into it. But yeah, music, massively into music. I love my films.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge nerd. I'm a huge geek. I love, Star Wars just recently came out. Won't give you any spoilers. It was amazing. But I
Oh,
love
so
my
you did see
films.
it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
I still have
fantastic.
to.
I want to talk about it, but I know I can't, so I'm not. But yeah, I love my films.
Mm-hmm.
Love my old school indie films as well.
Okay, regarding Star Wars, one question.
Go on.
If you would compare it with the quality of the first one in this last trilogy, how would it sit? How it sits?
I would say it is. So I've seen all the Star Wars films as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, you've got episode one, two, and three. Okay, let's remove those a little bit. Now, if you looked at let's look at four, five, and six. Now, if you wanted to put the Force Awakens next to A New Hope, you could, and if you wanted to put the Last Jedi with The Empire Strikes Back, the kind of the way that that story kind of unfolds, you can almost do
Mm-hmm.
that. And out of those, I'll say those. The next film that will come out, the total six so far, well, the five so far. Um, I think this is probably the second best Star Wars film I've ever seen.
Okay, cool, cool. It's good to see that feedback,
It's
and
almost
that
like it's
makes
coming round
me,
full circle.
yeah, quite anxious to see it.
You need to. You need to.
Okay, that's cool. Good. Now the second category of questions, the personal ones, or at least I try to split them up like so. Why do you play video games?
Why do I play video games? Um, I used to live. It kind of. I love getting into different worlds and kind of experiencing what's kind of going on outside of the real world. It was a great getaway. I used to work. I
Mhm.
do work a lot. I was like, I used to work a lot. No, I still work a lot. But having that free time to kind of get into a book was actually quite hard, or to watch a film. And when you can play a game, you can kind of take away the hours quite quickly, and you can actually cover a lot of ground. Around a story or just an experience really quickly within 30 minutes. So that's why I like games.
Mhm.
I always used to. I've been playing games since back in the days of the Nintendo, the NES system. So I was a real big Nintendo fan, and it started to just branch out. And I almost got into a position where I wanted to start doing things like coding, and it never happened to me. Game design never happened to me. So I thought the best way to kind of keep with it
Mhm.
was just to keep playing it and maybe learn as much as I possibly can, and maybe in the future I might get into something like that. But I
Yeah,
mean,
keep up to date with the medium. Yeah.
exactly. And in the end, if I really said why do I play games, it's honestly it is to connect with other people. I love the online, the MMO, the RPG kind of elements that you can get within games. I mean, I used to live in the sticks. I used to live with very few people around me. We had a half decent internet access. We could kind of talk sometimes, and there was people all over the world. Like yourself. That we could actually connect with and actually talk to, and there were
Mhm.
actually kind of on the same level. And it's kind of hard to find those people when everyone is so far away, and you are kind of in this little bubble, and it's really hard to get out. And now I'm older. I've moved out of that area, but I've always said to myself, the people that I've met on the internet, there's been ups and downs, but most of those people have been absolutely fantastic. And if you just want to reach out to find someone that you can get along with, you can do that, and you can make a connection through gaming. and that
Okay,
means
yeah.
something to me. I think
So
it's
you
really
play
important.
games for the games themselves, the stories and medium, and also for the people, basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, in a roundabout way. I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah, great. So the next question after listening to why you play video games is how would you define a gamer?
How do I define a gamer? I don't know. That's a really tough question. Why
It
did
is.
you ask me that? A gamer. So I always used to. I used to stereotype it a little bit, and I think everyone used to be guilty for that. And I think that stereotype I won't even mention. But being sat behind a desk in a dark room, just playing games, and it can almost get a bit toxic. But a gamer, wow. I would say a gamer is someone that is, passionate about. Wow, it's such a hard one. It is. You've given me a
Yeah.
tough one, and
And
I mean,
each time on my other interviews, everyone came with a different answer. So this is why I like to go into it.
cool, okay. A gamer is someone. A gamer is someone or a group of people that all share the appreciation for what a genre, a game, or a design can bring that group of people. Um, it can almost turn into almost like an obsession, an addiction. I would also almost say that a gamer is addicted to games. It could be literally anything because it's so broad, but I would say a gamer is just someone that's incredibly passionate about something that they play, and I would
Okay.
say that yeah, I would probably that's probably where it will probably stop for me. That is such a tough question. You've made me think differently, and I'm now going to be thinking about that even when I sleep at night. Thank you very much for that. You've just ruined my day.
Anytime.
I'm joking.
This is why I'm here for, so to ask the tough questions.
No, it was a good one.
Yeah, it's cool because when you have questions like this and make the other person think about it, then you see the real person behind. Then you really know the gamer.
Uh-oh.
Okay. The next question then. What games did influence you most and how?
Oh wow. Okay. So let's go back years. Let's go back years. So let's go back to Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So Super Mario platformers, that kind of all those worlds kind of being created and that you've never seen before, and then the challenge that was behind it, and then when you completed that game, you kind of came back through. It was almost like it was a whole different story. I really liked that. And that really inspired me to kind of play more, and I got into things like Contra and those kind of shooter games. Now it's kind of gone onwards, to like the next generation games. One game that really, really inspired me was, you probably heard this one before, but Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh
So,
yeah, awesome
so
game indeed.
that probably is one of my all-time best games that I've ever played, and it was because there was so much going on, but there was actually nothing going on. There's very few animals. There was a huge landscape with nothing in it, and for some reason it just pulled at me a little bit. And coming across those Colossus, going from this huge world to being this tiny little speck in that world to fighting these
And
things
yeah,
which are huge. Wow,
the
that inspired
the
me.
thing with this game is I found that when you have a world that it is so not populated at all, and you have a few creatures and you go get rid of them, at the end when you finish killing a boss and you should be satisfied and really glad, you actually feel like, well, I made the world a bit less
Wait a
populated.
minute. Did I do this for the right reasons? Yeah, it absolutely was. So I mean, that's definitely those kind of games definitely, inspire me. And now just the pure, now today, just the pure visual effects, the experience, the fact that you can almost really be there. That's inspiring, that it can kind of start with a pixel all the way to now, your polygons, your high resolution. I mean, even like low polygon kind of games, or low quality, well, not low quality, like pixel games. It's the experience and the worlds that they can kind of generate, which for me is it's just phenomenal. I love it.
Okay, so basically, the games that really do influence you is those that really connect with you at a
Yeah.
personal level, something like that, right?
Sometimes, I mean, I like shooting things. Does that mean that that's connecting with me? I don't. Yeah, visual games that make me think and kind of open up my mind a little bit more are probably the best kind of ones out there. So I think those definitely are the ones that connect with me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because you can also think that Serious Sam, for example, is a great game, but that may not really influence you because it's based on the adrenaline and the rush
That's it.
of of the gameplay, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So going to the next question. Any regrets you have from gaming? Crushed dreams, maybe broken keyboards?
I did a series on this actually a while back. I used to have a lot of suggested by you games where viewers would come to me and say you should really play these kind of really ragey games.
Oh,
And
okay.
before go back maybe a few years back, I've put my fist my fist through a PC. I've broken controllers, especially the wireless ones. They can travel a lot further. So I've wrecked a lot of stuff. But I
Okay.
tell you what, my biggest regret was that I had my biggest regret in actual gaming, me playing a game, was I was so this goes back to like the days of Modern Warfare 2, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, because I used to play a lot of that competitively, and I acquired a care package that had an EMP in it. Now, me and about 6 other people that I all knew, all on the headsets, they knew that this EMP had come in, and
Okay.
we were all traveling to it, and we just could not get through anyone. It was almost like the other team were holding us back, trying to stop us from getting there because they knew how important it was for us. Anyway, I started sitting down. I was then on my knees. I ended up standing up because I kept getting killed, and eventually the controller and my headset and the cables attached to it ended up about 3 stories below me out the window. I absolutely lost it. It was like an achievement for me to get this care package, and I just could not do it, and we lost it, and I just absolutely raged out. And I think people saw a different side of me. I was so competitive back then. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of regret, that I've grown a lot. It's changed, but now, God, my biggest regrets are that I go too fast through a game. Like I can finish a game so quickly. Something that can take weeks for people. I will just sit there on the couch and I will play it within 8 hours and I'll finish it. And then I regret that I haven't spent more time exploring or doing all the challenges or doing all the side quests. I kind of just get on through it, and I'm trying to now. There's a lot of games out there, for instance, Assassin's Creed Origins that came out recently, and I get about 3 or 4 hours into it, and I think I need to stop. Nick, stop. Take a seat. Go play something else. Go watch some TV. Don't finish it immediately because it's such a good game, and I don't want to just lose it all and then go on to the next one. So yeah, that's probably a regret.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
get better
So.
one day.
Yeah, I get it. Uh, yeah, because this day and age makes you go like this because everything is in a rush. Everything, and the medium also it's basically in a rush because there are so many games that are coming out, and you say like I have 400 games in my Steam library. I need to finish them faster, faster.
I need to get
Something like
through
that.
them all. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and you still buy them at Steam when
Oh,
Steam discounts things.
yeah, when you have a Steam sale and you buy about 20
Exactly.
games and you realize that you haven't touched any of them yet and you need to get through them, yeah, that
Yeah.
feeling, that regret starts to come in a little bit.
Okay. Another question. What do you prefer? A gameplay moments thrill or a deep story that makes you feel and think?
Depends on the game. Really depends on the game. But I would say something that's story driven, that's a bit deeper. I think that's always a win for me. I like to play those kind of games because if I don't get to read often, I almost turn this into a book for me. It's almost like a page turner, and I like to, I like to kind of see the depth of it. It's very linear, so I like those kind of games. Yeah, I would prefer those.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, another category, questions more related to the past, let's say. When and how did you start to game?
God, when did I? My parents were both they used to like playing like on the Ataris and things like that. I never actually got my hands on any of those. I know there is one somewhere hidden away in the house, and I still haven't found it. But they used to play a lot of games, and they actually bought this Nintendo system, the NES, not the Super Nintendo, the NES, the original with Super Mario. And I remember just sitting down in a really cold house with a fire burning in the back, and I'm big tube TV playing Super Mario for the first time. I actually remember that really fondly, and
Awesome.
that was awesome. And just that experience as a whole, I don't think if all those things came together and it happened that way, I don't think I would have been playing as much as I do now, because there's a lot of fond memories within that.
And this goes right into the next questions. Any cool family gaming memories, good or bad?
Cool family gaming memories. You know what?
Exactly.
My mum, she is my dad. Not so much. He used to play like Space Invaders, and it kind of stopped there. My mum used to play things like like Tomb Raider. My God, she used to play
Oh,
Tomb Raider with me. So we would take
the first
turns.
ones?
Yeah, like the first
Whoa,
PlayStation ones. Yeah, so
awesome.
yeah, it was amazing. I used to be so young. I mean, I don't even know how old I was back then. I was young, and this game had come along, and I said I wanted it, and then I'd realised that I actually haven't got the mental ability to actually control Lara Croft. So I'd have to kind of tell my mum what to do, and tell her that you missed something, and eventually I'd start to play it myself, and it would be like a role reverse, and she'd be saying, you need to miss that. Oh, you've missed those coins. You need to pick up that girl,
That
all
is
this
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
And one that I remember really well was I used to play. So we got an N64, Nintendo 64, and we got Ocarina of Time, Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I was begging for this game. Basically, I've never played Zelda in my life before, and I was actually terrified of that game when I was so young. It actually scared me because it was quite a dark and quite atmospheric, and there's like skeletons coming out of the ground at night and things like that. It actually terrified me. So when I got into a dungeon, I had to have someone with me to help me through that. And I don't think I would have got through that game if it wasn't for my mum to actually help me through it. So, those were amazing gaming memories. And, it's changed a little bit. There might be times where I kind of have to sit with her and go, no, this is how we do it. And, we have a bit of fun there. But, we still, even now, help each other with gaming, which is, it's kind
It's
of,
cool. It's cool.
it's kind of nice, isn't it?
And you should now play with her the co-op games like Overcooked and.
Oh, see, now that's where it starts to get incredibly competitive, and we try and move away from those. We used to play Mario Kart. We used to play so much Mario Kart together, and then we would play Double Dash came out, where you could have two players on one kart, and we would refuse to do that because we wanted to beat each other so much. We were just like, no, one of us has to win. We can't both win.
Okay. Yeah, this is why the co-op games are better.
Oh, co-op games are fun.
Yeah. Okay. The next question. Which are the best remembered games?
Best remembered games. God. Okay. Scanning my mind right now. Okay. So Shadow of Colossus, I've already gone through. I'll probably say that is probably my most memorable game. When the release came out, I absolutely went nuts and got that. And obviously the new one is coming out. Well, the remake of a remake is coming out again very soon. That's amazing.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. So, that's good. Best ones. Do you know what? There was a game that came out a while back. It's called I Am Alive, which came out on the Xbox 360 as just an Xbox, just a download. And it was about a post-apocalyptic a character trying to survive like the apocalypse, and try to get to his family in another city in the States, and that journey all the way through it, and how gritty and dark that game was. That stuck with me, and that's probably one of the best games I've ever played. And funny enough, Battlefield, for me, Battlefield was always like the whole series there was really good.
The whole series, or
The whole
only the
series,
first one?
just
Okay.
the Battlefield series is just the I actually really enjoy. A lot of people might disagree with me, and agree that the actual campaigns that you play with them, as much as how stupid they might be, like Bad Company, how stupid and funny they may be, all the way to the most recent ones where actually they're historically referencing events. That. That's definitely a memory. But I tell you, the one that's probably sticks in my mind the most is the Metal Gear Solid series. Every single one of those. So
yeah.
I'm starting to see that a lot of the games that I'm memorizing a lot, remembering, are the ones that had a series that had a continued storyline that you had to wait months and months to see the next part.
Yeah, it helps. It helps.
Yeah.
Solidifying the memories basically through another game.
Yeah, I know that's how a franchise lasts, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it was good.
Okay. And are you a collector? Do you collect any physical items or?
I am looking to my left right now, and yes, I do have quite a lot. Yeah, I do. I used to collect a lot of just random junk, and then it kind of turned into like collector's editions and pop vinyls and things like that. I used to be a huge collector of Lego, and I realized that I had to live an adult life and kind of stop doing that. But there's, I can tell you a few things that kind of sat in my room at the moment. So I've got the Nightingale from Bioshock Infinite.
Cool.
Sat there, big statues. I've got a Yarny doll from Unraveled. There's an Army of Two mask from that
You can
Rios used to.
also, I guess, send me a few pictures of those, and
Oh
I'll put
yeah,
them here on the screen.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Cool.
there's a
Cool.
few Vault Boys. There's a few Vault Boys about, but yes, I don't
Out.
have that much space.
Let me say this. Out of all your collectibles, which one is your favorite?
Oh wow, that's how dare you? You know what? I have one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter, and I have a Monster Hunter amiibo, and I want to collect all of them. I think they're
Cool.
amazing. They're from
Okay.
Monster Hunter Worlds. Those are fantastic. I'll send you a picture.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, getting to the next one and the final question here. What is your most famous content, or which is the one you are most proud of?
Oh, one of the ones I'm most proud of. You know what? I struggled to find. I really like making content and putting it on YouTube, and everyone seems to like it. But there's not really been anything that I've been incredibly proud of. I'm always kind of trying to do more and always trying to do better. But one of my favorite ones is probably my Don't Laugh ones. I do a lot of this gaming stuff, and these let's plays and kind of reviews, and people really enjoy that. But what they enjoyed the most, and I took some pride in, was that they like to hear me ramble on. So I used to do a lot of vlogs, a lot of positivity, videos around positivity, motivation. And there was a person on Reddit. I'll tell you the story. There was a guy on Reddit that I'd been speaking to briefly, and he put a message up on Reddit saying that he had a really bad day. And it worried me because, it was this real happy-go-lucky person had changed to this very kind of almost depressed, and that alarm bells were going off in my head. So I thought I'd do a random video that I've never done before, and it was a try not to laugh challenge, and it wasn't meant to be funny. It was just meant to realize that life isn't that bad. And I did a don't laugh challenge, and basically the video wasn't even really, the video wasn't funny. It was just the fact is that I was unable to not laugh at anything, and I looked like a fool. And this guy messaged me back, and he just said, "Thank you. You helped me through a really tough time." And I didn't expect this. I just thought it'd help. And I'm really proud of that. Really proud of that content. I mean, it's probably one of the highest viewed ones I've had actually, as well,
so
which was kind of weird.
It was also well received.
Yeah, and it was
Cool.
kind of it just came to fruition. It just happened, and I am proud of that one.
Okay, yeah. So also the fact that when you have a real impact in someone's life, it is cool. It is one of the coolest sensations you can have.
It's always nice. Absolutely.
Okay, so now going into the next categories, I have some questions more related to the present. Let's say,
Okay.
do you like to watch eSports?
Esports, yes. I'm a huge fan of esports actually.
And what
Rocket
game
League.
do you like to watch most, or teams maybe?
I mean, I'm not going to name any teams because I get told off when I start talking about teams. But as in for esports, actual sports, Rocket League was fantastic. I actually tried to catch as much as that live. I really enjoyed that. The Dota, I tried to catch a bit of Dota at a few points, which is it's definitely not my kind of game, but watching it is actually really, it's almost like watching football. I quite like that. Any sports. Those two I watch the most, but yes, I would say esports, it's growing and it's getting more and more out there, and it's just not 100% accessible nowadays. It's not like you would. It's not like if you wanted to watch a rugby or any sports on TV, you can just turn it over. You have to, find the right times. You can't just, go and watch it immediately. But esports growing, and I'm definitely very fond of it. And I love the fact that that someone can train the whole of their life to then become someone with esports. And it isn't even a case that you sat there to eat chips, chill out, have some of your fizzy pop and whatnot. You have to train rigorously to be one of those top competitors, and contenders.
Basically
And
the same thing as in sports.
You're an athlete. You're an
exactly.
absolute athlete, and I love to see that, especially within gaming. I think it's awesome.
And esports doesn't have the, let's say, the mainstream reach at the moment, but we're getting there.
Hopefully.
With each generation that grows with games, I'm sure that it will go more and more mainstream. So,
yeah.
Okay. The next questions. What are your favorite channels on YouTube?
If I say would that make you blush?
It might, but
so there's quite a few, there's quite a few really cool ones out there. If I was going to say like mainstream, the kind of ones that I like to, turn on and kind of watch, Blitz. So Blitz is really good. He's got some really great content. IGP, very similar, just a different kind of personality, and they're really cool. And they cover quite a lot of the stuff. I used to be really fond of the Yogscast, and it's kind of moved away from them to a specific group of people called Hat Films. And Hat Films, if you've ever heard of them, they do a lot of like music kind of content, a lot of just random slapstick, and they all really get along. They're just really pally. They've got great personalities, and they do a lot of vlogs. They're really good.
Okay.
But I mean, for smaller channels, God, I know people might watch this and then they go, I've missed them. But there's a really good content Pokemon channel called Glacier Gaming. I'm not much of a Pokemon player, but they're really cool. But they do a lot of streaming and they bring communities together, which is something I really like. There's some great, I can talk about Twitch as well, I guess. There's a guy out there called Big Z who's a really good Let's Player that I've played with him a few times, like with PUBG, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. And I have to say it, and he'll probably cry from hearing it, but there's a banana kind of character out there. Yeah, you know who it is. Please put a link. Please put a link for him, because he's. And it isn't just about their channels; it's about the people. So you could just do the worst quality stuff out there. It could be the worst, and for me, that doesn't matter. It's the personality and the effort that goes behind it. So. If you're looking for the best kind of content, you don't have to go and expect to see it from these people. It's about the people that you kind of like, you understand more, you get to know them better, you start to see, the kind of people that they really are. And a lot of them are very genuine people, and I don't think you come across that many people like that, especially around YouTube and Twitch.
Exactly. So this applies on also when the so-called people is a banana.
Yeah, we're not discriminating. We won't assume. If he wants to assign himself as a banana, he can do that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll put the link and their channel image for each one that you mentioned, so not a problem here. Going into the next one, what are you currently playing?
What am I currently playing? So there's a game that came out literally yesterday, which I'm currently playing, called Fade to Silence. It's a THQ early access game. It's really good. It's really dark. It's just come out on Steam. Check it out. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's just crazy. It's not what I expect from an early access game. It's really polished. Still playing some Call of Duty World War II, doing a bit of that. As much as it's kind of gone down the pan, but Battlefront 2, the newest Battlefront 2, I still play that. I still like it, just because, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I'm slowly, and I've been trying to not do this for a long time, not play it, because I know I'm just going to get stuck in it, but I've started to play Stardew Valley.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. And I know that I can sink a lot of hours into that, so those are the kind of things I'm currently playing. But you might see by the end of this month, by Christmas, it might just be all I play.
Cool. Okay, and how are you splitting your time between all of this gaming and real life, family
Wow.
and YouTube.
It's hard actually. It's I do. I'm quite scheduled now. Before I used to be just absolutely over the place. I used to go out for dinner with friends and go back and say, "Oh my god, I need to upload something for tomorrow." So I'd record, edit, and upload all in one night, and
Ouch.
it would be two o'clock in the morning, and I realised that it's this was supposed to be out at 9 o'clock that day. So I used to be really bad with that, but now it's relatively easy. I spend 2 days a week basically, 2 evenings a week recording. So I'll do half of my recording maybe on a Saturday, so today,
Hmm.
and I'll get a little bit of editing done, and then maybe after work or when I spend some time with family friends, I'll come home and do a little bit of light editing, and then I'll come back and do a little bit more recording because usually I do get a lot of comments. And a lot of people get upset when I don't reply to their comments immediately in the next video. So if I did a week's worth of videos altogether and I didn't acknowledge them, I actually feel like it's a disservice to them because they're getting
Hmm.
involved. So I'll do another set of recording, replying to them, and then I'll go and do the same process again. So it's usually kind of 2 days a week, 2 evenings a week where I kind of edit, record, upload,
Yeah,
comment,
it's a
get back.
good
So
it's a good schedule indeed.
it works. It works considering there's pretty much 2 episodes every single day that comes out except for weekends now.
Hmm.
So that's 10. That's 10 videos. So five a session is, I think, pretty good, and it's usually quite diverse in what I play. So it
Hmm.
works. That's how I juggle it. But other than that, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's actually easy when you kind of get to it.
Yeah, indeed. If when you start and really manage to make yourself a routine, then it gets
Yeah, yeah.
easier. Yeah.
Schedule's needed.
Hmm.
If you want to do YouTube or Twitch, schedule is needed. Absolutely.
Okay. And the last question for this category: what is your current setup?
My
And
current
mhm.
setup. Right. Okay. So I built my own PC. So
Cool,
I've got my
cool.
own PC that I've built. I've got 2 monitors. They're both very different monitors. Green screen behind me. But what I'm actually currently running is, I've got an Asus Strix motherboard, one of the best out there,
Mm-hmm.
with a GTX 1070. I hope I've got that right.
Cool.
Hopefully to SLI in the future. When I have some money, I might throw another one in there. It's only running about 16 gig of RAM. It's got a huge power pack. No CD drive, which is kind of weird. I've never needed it. And the
Yeah.
biggest kind of cooling setup I've ever seen that isn't water cooling. It has two heat sinks that are about yay big. I'm showing about yay big, that split into two. They're
Mm-hmm.
Coolmaster ones, and I have never had the coolest, as in it's just chilly in here, even if it's a warm day,
Interesting.
PC
Okay.
ever. So it's really cool. Yeah, and two monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I suppose Logitech mice. I've got a really nice set SteelSeries kit as well, so SteelSeries keyboard, and my favorite
Mm-hmm.
mic in the world. And if anyone wants to do any sort of serious Let's Plays or just do some voice commentary, I really advise on this. And it's the Razer Siren. I'll put it in the screen now.
Okay.
The Razer Siren mic. I bought this about. I'm really proud of this actually because I was actually asked by Razer to kind of take a look at it and have a go with it, and I did. And I thought it was going to be a bit of junk, if I'm absolutely honest. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had Snowball mics and things like that, but this is literally the best mic I've ever come across. It's
Awesome.
just, the quality is fantastic, so
Quite
definitely
cool.
worth checking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it rises to the Blue Yeti level,
Oh,
or
I would say it's better. I
huh,
would say it's much. Yeah, I'd say
quite
it's
cool.
better.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to it. Yeah, it's definitely worth looking into.
Cool. Great. Okay. Now going into the last category, close to the finish. Any must-play games on your radar?
Any must-play games, as in what I would probably play
In the
myself or on the
What do you
channel, or
want? What do you really want to play in the future, basically?
oh, that's not easy. So there is wow. So Monster Hunter. So huge fan of Monster Hunter. Monster
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Worlds. I played the beta. I was blown away. I've been a huge fan for years. When it actually came out on the PlayStation 2, that's how far it goes back for me. And that is definitely going to be my top one on the list. Upcoming, but not actually. They've not given a release date, but the Hitman series has been something that I've been really into. So season 2 of the new Hitman.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard that is coming out. Yes.
I can't wait. I actually. Um, Can't wait. There is, from what I've heard, there might be some more Star Wars related kind of games coming out in the future, which looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to kind of move away from those kind of style of games, I think the new Jurassic World base city park builder,
Okay.
that looks fantastic. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking really forward to those two. Those are the ones that I'm constantly checking online to see when they come out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Cool. Great. And the next question: what is your channel dream series? Thinking, what would you like to make you successful, basically?
Ooh, what would I like to make me successful?
Yeah, as a
That's
series,
oh,
something like that.
okay. Well, most of my community, the people that watch what I do, they like a lot of my city building kind of, like cities, that kind of stuff. So if something was around that I could get really stuck into, that I can lose hours in and people can happily watch,
Mm-hmm.
something like cities would be amazing for me, because I can literally sit there for hours and just drone on and keep playing it. Actually, I like my FPSs, my first person shooters, and those kind of games. Even if it will never happen, but I know it. If there was the opportunity there, like playing PlayerUnknown, Battlegrounds, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff was really good. Call of Duty, Battlefield, those kind of games. If it was something like that, that would be a series, or just streaming with that was really good. Um, I think it would probably be those kind of. I wouldn't know a game. It's because they do change, that I would kind of put it down to, but maybe a genre would be first person shooters, something like that. Because I'm good. I'm good. You hear it here now. Go watch. It's good.
Okay.
And the city builders, those kind of things where we can kind of just experiment and build a community from that. I really think that those would be the ones, if I
Mm-hmm.
was going to. That would be the dream.
Interesting options, because these
Bit
two
different, aren't
things are quite separate. One is full of action and reaction times and fun. The other one is more chill and strategic to build things. Yeah.
they? I can do them all.
Yeah. Quite cool. Quite cool. Okay. The next question: what most excites you in this industry?
Oh, just the jumps, just the absolute jumps in like technology, graphics. There's the esports kind of scene. That's amazing. All of that really, really excites me. The fact is that universities for us, in like in the UK, the universities are
Mm-hmm.
getting behind esports, and they're building, almost like having degrees and qualifications within esports. I think that's fantastic. So I think things like that, and the culture behind it is growing and it's completely
Mm-hmm.
changing. I love the thought that this will become, because gaming isn't a norm yet. It's big, it's out there, people do it. You play Candy Crush and people don't think that Candy Crush is gaming when it is. They think it's just a tab game, but it's that perception is slowly changing, and I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited to see what that kind of perception will change to in the future. For me, prediction for 2018 going up
Mm-hmm.
2020, you're probably going to start to see that what someone assumes a gamer is now is going to be very, very different, and it's going to be almost a tag that everyone will essentially be part of,
Yeah,
hopefully.
interesting. Yes, because at the moment we do not have any tag that we associate with people that really likes movies, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the next questions, more of opposite, let's say.
Hmm.
What would you change in this gaming industry?
Oh, don't get me started. No. So in all honesty, this industry's changed. It's changed a lot, and it's got a lot better. And I really appreciate that that's happened. But this place is still very toxic. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very, we use the term, it's very salty, and it's a toxic environment. And the I would love to see it kind of become kind of neutral, because there's a lot of great things. It's bringing people together, it's making people very happy, it gets you away from the hustle bustle of life, and it gives you a bit of that time to de-stress, and in whatever genre and whatever you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a lot of really toxic people out there that are very, very aggressive, type of people out there, which I also understand. Sometimes you get angry with a game, but you shouldn't have the opportunity to be able to take that out on others, and I'm absolutely against that. And I hope that
Mm-hmm.
there is a way in the future that we can kind of remove that as a whole. For instance, my channel was a previous one that I was part of was really toxic, and it was all about bullying, and people were very aggressive towards each other, but they still communicated. And I get that some people like to be that type of personality, but it brought a lot of people down. And the new channel, this channel that I'm part of now, the one that I have, is zero tolerance completely. If anyone comes into that channel,
so I managed to grow
or something like that,
to grow a community, a more positive community. That's
absolutely
great.
It's needed.
Yeah, great. Then regarding our viewers, the last questions that I have here, the last question. Any advice do you have for the viewers?
Any advice? Just don't let everything get you down. Like, we live... Oh wow, okay, it's turning into a positivity kind of video now.
Not a problem.
Don't let anyone get you down. I started with very little, and I'm where I am now, and I'm not even close to where I finally want to be. But the only way I've been able to do this is through conviction, commitment, and just being consistent all the time and trying to do my best. And sometimes my best isn't good enough, but I know that if I keep trying, I'll eventually get there and people will notice me. So you don't always have to ask for kindness. You don't have to always ask for appreciation or respect or anything like that, but do what makes you happy, and that happiness and everything else that comes around that will come to you eventually. Don't ever give up on that. And that's definitely the kind of stuff that I like to talk about. But the best advice I say is just don't stop. Don't ever think that if you want to stop, ask yourself why, and come back around to you should keep going, and it should always be like that.
Cool. And I think I'll take from that advice too.
Hopefully everyone should.
Yeah, so I guess this was it. These are all the 25 questions, and they went by quite fast. Yeah,
they did.
Every time when I say 25 questions, they all are like, oh my god, so many questions. But when we finish, well, it was quite fast.
No, it was good. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for having me on board. Hopefully you like my bobbly hat and my Christmas spirit. I've really enjoyed
it. Cool. So before we close this, do you have any final words that you want to say, or?
I think I've talked enough, but thank you so much for having me on board. Anyone that wants to see something a little bit different, and likes to play, likes to see Let's Plays, gaming, wants to build a good community, feel free to drop on over. Everyone is welcome. Unless you're toxic, then just go. But I like to say that this channel is different, and there's a lot of YouTubers within it as well that all help each other, so that's really different, and I like that. They're usually lone wolves, and they stand alone, and they try to do their own thing, but actually there's a lot of us that kind of come together, so it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, thank you for having me on board, and cool. This was really fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cool, very cool. So yeah, I really had fun during this interview, and thank you, Nick, for joining. It was quite awesome to have your thoughts and experience on my channel. And everyone, go look over his channel. He's as he said, he has a great community there, and feel free to subscribe to him. And also, if you like the interview, and maybe check out my channel too. Just plugging this in. So yeah, I think that's about it. Again, thank you to all the viewers that watch until now. I hope you had fun, and I hope I see you in other videos. And thank you again, Nick, for your presence here. I hope I see you continue your YouTube, and well, to the future success, let's say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye all. Bye. Thank you for watching.